Well, a typical Tymal Mills finish to an England innings, getting wickets at the very fag end. And that, combined with the start they had with Moeen Ali's wickets, have kept Bangladesh down to something well below they would have bargained for 124 for 9. And it's the nature of the wickets when we look back on it that really will tell that story. Mushfiqur Rahim, 29 of 30, was the top scorer. Mahmudullah looked like he could have built something towards the latter half, but simply ran out of partners, ran out of player, and himself got out after that. 124 for 9, 3 for 27. The most successful bowler was Tymal Mills. Here we are on Cricbuzz Live, looking back at England versus Bangladesh. Bangladesh had won the toss, remember, and decided to bat first. Let's see how the panel on Cricbuzz Live interpret that. Joy Bhattacharjya, Zaheer Khan. Zach, I'll come to you first. Obviously, the intent when you've decided to bat first, the nature of many of the wickets at the top were not that the bowling side was getting you out or steamrolling you. 2 to Moeen Ali, that were the batsman trying to do it, 1 run out. So really only Mushfiqur Rahim was beaten in the top 6.
Wickets early on never helps, and that too if you have back-to-back wickets, then it adds added pressure. You've seen, that's usually the case. That's how the game goes. We were expecting that, isn't it? Like, either Bangladesh gets off to a good start, not losing wicket, that power play, then only you have that platform of getting to that 170 runs. Once you didn't have that, against a quality side like England, you're always going to be finding it tough to catch up with the game. And that's what we've seen. You have the experience of Tymal Mills also. Rashid bowling that backhand over was something interesting. I think that's the only experiment I saw from English side, because the way they started with Moeen Ali, I thought they have like a stack up of 4 or the role defined for the bowlers as well, for them to get better and better with bowling a similar phase of the game. Getting the 5th bowler out is something which consciously England is trying to do. So with that, I think there was a little bit of experiment thrown by using Adil Rashid in the back end, and see how it goes. Didn't really pan out, so you will not see it often, I guess, now going forward.
Let's have a look at that bowling effort from England, and you can see Adil Rashid's biggest contribution to the match was not in the wickets column. It was that spectacular catch he took off Shakib Al Hasan. 4 overs for 35, bulk of the runs coming in that final over, which again came at a time when he had the option of going to Chris Jordan to finish that over, Joy. Yes, England will now be looking at this as what we do going ahead in the tournament. And as Zaheer Khan said, that's not something they're going to repeat.
Yeah, look, they've used Adil Rashid before to great effect. But the whole tactic out here was Adil Rashid was meant to bowl wide of off stump, bowl the googlies wide of off stump and try and force him to hit in the offside. And he made a mistake on the first one. But the second one, if you see where he hit it from, he had literally moved, to his 10th stump and then hit it from there, because he really went to fetch the ball. But yeah, why would you want to do that when you just have an option? But I don't know why. Morgan has tried Adil Rashid before in this role. This is not the first time he does it. He likes, using Adil Rashid there. What was interesting for me was also the fact that they bowled 10 overs of spin and they bowled 3 overs of Livingston. We thought that once Livingston bowled that first over, he's not going to get another chance. But he goes and takes the wickets and he gets 2 more overs, which means Chris Jordan does not complete his quota. So I think that's good, because that shows that they have some flexibility. They got one thing badly wrong and they went for 17 runs in that over. But otherwise, pretty much everything that England did worked out for them, except for that Adil Rashid over.
Yeah, it was just, if we have to assess the whole innings, Zaheer, and you look at it, there are situations where a team is out for under 130, and you look at least one bowler who's been sort of dominant, unplayable. We didn't really have anything like that. It was just the right tactics at the right time, and Bangladesh then contributing the rest.
Absolutely, I think it was one of those innings where, like I said, it once you lose those early wickets against the quality opposition like England, they are not going to give you any chance. I think that Adil Rashid was the only chance used at that particular time. But I think England captain has been smart here. Morgan has been very smart in terms of using his lesser bowlers. This is the best practice, isn't it, for them? Getting Livingston's 3 overs in is basically, just sussing, how he's responding to pressure. because this is a real game. Warm up games and all that, you can try and simulate that kind of pressure, but it's never going to get to this level. So I think the Morgan has been smart, just using his resources to see who he can use in future, or just give them the glimpse of what's it like under pressure, when the batter is going to come hard at you. So I think that's smart on England's part. Apart from that, you got 120 plus runs. We know how England is going to come out there and look to bat. So that's where it's heading. As much as you want to think that it might go otherwise, barring Fizz, I think no one will have a say in this innings. Is what I feel, because the wicket has looked good. There are no demons in the pitch. You would expect England to come out all guns blazing. See how Fizz goes from Bangladesh's point of view, because it's important to set the tone. They didn't manage to get set that tone with the bat, but if they set the tone with the ball in hand, maybe get those early couple of wickets, then you might be able to bring in your spinners, which you're banking on for this game in play.
The one person that'd be key, and we saw that England batting lineup, is David Malan. Because of the nature of the previous run chase, they sort of kept pushing him lower down the order, a bit like Mushfiqur in that qualifying game. So they'll be keen to get him to his respected slot and hope that he gets some runs ahead of the other bigger matches to come, in a sense.
Yeah, Malan is a key player for them, and I think they regard him much as the Australians are going to use Steve Smith, that a player to bat around and let all the hitters go and let David Malan do it. I mean, he was the number one T20 batsman in the world for a reason, because he was phenomenally consistently give you runs, and I think that's the one little weakness that they have. And look, they got away with it this time. Had Moeen Ali gone, remember he went for 10 in his first over. Had Moeen Ali continued to go, and they couldn't afford to give him maybe the third over there, these things could turn differently. So that's what I'm saying, that it is also a large part of it is game situation. It worked out for England today. Other than that Adil Rashid over, it worked out for England today. But they'll also be cognizant of the fact that it will not work out every day.
Another worry, if you just go back to that Bangladesh batting card, and you see that even in small situations, smaller totals, you have one or two or three batsmen who have got off to the right kind of start with the right kind of strike rate. Look entirely down that list. Nasum Ahmed with a freak innings, 19 of 9. Every other batsman pretty much was scoring at a strike rate under 100. 19 of 24, 29 of 30, 4 of 7. And that is something I think they'll want to rectify going forward. Even a couple of contributions, and 125 could be 140.
They'll have to. I think and this group is not an easy one, for them. So I think you will see games like these. In this format, GB, as much as we try to analyze, end of the day, it's going to boil down to how you set the tone. If you have ball in hand, you got to have that impact right from the word go, especially in those first 3-4 overs. Then things become easier. Otherwise, you are banking on one individual coming up with some spectacular performance to bring you back in the game. With the bat in hand, you need that start. If you have wickets in hand, then you can do wonders. Your power hitters need to come in at the right time. And more often than not, when you see a good total, you'll see two batters playing their role. And in Bangladesh's case, in this scorecard, no one really could get going. Yes, Mushfiqur was looking to use the pace. He's the man in form. Had a good outing last game. So he was the only guy who looked like doing something there. But once he got out, it was always going to be difficult.
Certainly will be. The run out of Afif Hussain at the hands of Mahmudullah was sort of summed up the innings, because they just didn't seem to have that intent. A little bit of confusion there. But Shakib Al Hasan has opened the bowling for Bangladesh as expected, hit for a boundary first ball. The intent is there. Now, remember, if you take us back to the first innings, our predictions, I tried to go low. I apologize for going low. It ended up being even lower than that. So I can take my apology back. But because of that, it means since we haven't got it, Joy, we've got to do a revised prediction, power play score for England, which could end up being pretty high. How high is the question?
I'm going to go 43.
43? I might go even higher than that at 52.
You sort of gone in between. I was going to say 55. Okay, I'll say 55 then.
Fair enough. 55. That's the
When
kind
you
of intent you
when you
might.
know you're just chasing down 120, the kind of 124, the kind of batting lineup which English has and the kind of cricket they've been playing, I think they will just think that okay, doesn't matter, just go hard in the first six.
Exactly. Let's remind everybody. We keep talking about this. If you're 124 for no loss or 124 for five, just trying to go hard, and you do the 124 for five in 5 overs quicker, that's what will benefit you. Doesn't matter how many wickets you lose along the way. That's what adds to the net run rate, not the number of wickets you lose. That's all we have in this analysis. We'll be back in the 10th over. We don't even know. Maybe England would have knocked it off or come close to knocking it off by then. But if they haven't, we will assess it on Cricbuzz Combox. Thank you, Zaheer. Thank you, Joy. We'll see you all soon. This is
Thank you.
Cricbuzz Live.